It's about to get live. We keep it pretty level, no surprise. Come and listen to the topics busting. Yeah, check out our discussion. Keith Norris and D2K. K-Bump 20 on the MIC. Jet Eye Night all the way in Germany. Leveled head, you know who that boy is. But they say live and level, live and level. We on that MIC. Live and level, live and level. We just talking them games. Live and level, live and level. Take a seat and listen up, man. Live and level, live and level. What's up, people? This is your boy Levelhead back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. We are back in the building. It's been a long hiatus, but hey, grown men do grown things when grown men have to do those grown things. So we are here to have a good time. I got my partner right here, Mr. Norris. What's up, bro?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
Yeah. So we kind of missed E3 last week. We didn't do a recap. We didn't give our thoughts. So we're going to kind of conclude our take on what E3 did. I think we talked about EA and Microsoft, but we didn't do Nintendo. We didn't even do Bethesda because that was going on while we was doing the cast. We didn't do Ubisoft. We didn't do Square Enix. Who else out there that we didn't do?
Nintendo. I think Nintendo was the last one, and then I think they had a PC conference. I don't think anybody watched that.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. What about the whole indies that Nintendo was supposed to do? I didn't see that one either.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Remember they were supposed to do like on their treehouse, they were supposed to do like an indie titles that was coming at the treehouse. I need to go back and see if I can find that. I didn't even watch Bethesda's at all. But we also gonna talk about the news with Stadia and the pricing and give our takes on that. But right now we just want to catch up. So what's been good in your world, Mr. Norris?
Oh man. So just got offered a new job. I'll be doing practically the same thing. But of course there's more money, there's more professional growth. So I'm excited. This is definitely for my family. So I'm excited about that. And just trying to continue to progress in this thing called life.
That's what's up. Yeah, man, my job posted a new management position that they didn't put on the main post, man. I would have went for it, but that was a good bump in pay. That would have been a nice little bump in pay. And I probably would have had a strong chance of getting it with my background, but I didn't see the post, so they already closed it. I ain't even told my wife because she'd probably be upset. But the hours really didn't. I'm gonna be honest, the hours really didn't jive with my schedule. Because they didn't force me to go to a midday, like that weird 2 to 10, 1 to 9 type of shift, and I ain't really trying to.
Yeah.
That's basically your whole day. You won't be able to get nothing done. If you're in the live chat, if you listening, you tuning in, go ahead and sign off in the live chat. We'll give you a shout out. Right now it's just me and Keith on our dolo. But we gonna hold you down. K-Bum should be jumping in. Also, D2K might be jumping in a little later. I know K-Bum is, but I'm not sure about D2K. And we heard from Jedi Knight. Knight, man. K-Bum was like, man, Jedi Knight said if we on Sundays, don't forget about him. I haven't. I just, we haven't been doing Sunday. Well, we have kind of been doing Sundays, but I thought that we was doing a little later than he would be able to get on. But he said if we doing it on Sunday, let him know. He might be able to jump on. Okay. And give us his takes on things. He said, what's up to the fellas? So he over there in Germany still gaming. But yeah, man, that's what's up. New job, new opportunity, new heights, new finances. That's all gravy. That's all good. Without, I guess, tarrying too long, look at me talking like I'm in church. Without taking too much time, what you been gaming on?
So, few things was on sale during E3, and one of the things that I bought was I double dipped. I actually double dipped. I went back and bought What's that?
You gonna explain why you put that emphasis on that double dip. You got to tell them what's going on behind the scenes. Go ahead.
All right, let me say the game first. I double dip. I went ahead and bought Hollow Knight again on the Switch.
Okay.
Because I had it on Steam, but I haven't been able to play my PC. Although I think I probably could play it on my laptop, but I haven't really cared. But the reason I put the emphasis on double dip because me and the fellas we was having a conversation about Witcher, and we was talking about people who are claiming that they're gonna double dip and all this other stuff. And I personally am not gonna double dip on a game that I put almost 200 hours into. I I did almost play the second time just to get a different build, character build for him, but no, I can't see myself double dipping on a game, especially $60 just to play it in the bed versus my computer. So
okay. No, I mean I haven't played Witcher 3, but I don't see myself paying $59.99 for the Switch version. If they was giving you a deal on the price, being that this game is very much available elsewhere for a cheaper price. I think you can get Witcher 3 right now for $19.
Yep.
And you can get even I think you get the DLC and all that. I think it's all in there.
Yes,
for like $19. Huh?
It's all the complete version.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, and I'm getting the better version now. I do like the luxury of on-the-go gaming, and I do like the fact that when I go up with my in-laws or me and the wife and the kids hit out of town or something, we're going to be gone for a few days. I do like the fact that I could take the Switch with me and play a lot of these games. Actually, that's what allowed me to get into Doom and get as far as I did in Doom and actually play the game. Because I know if it was on the PlayStation or my Xbox or my son's Xbox One now, and I'm basically handed that over to him, I wouldn't have played Doom like that.
Yeah.
And the same with LA Noire. I would not have played that as intensely as I did without that portability being, going out of town and, you got a lot of idle time, sitting around, your in-laws' house, you don't know your way around as much. I'm learning the Lou, I'm learning St. Louis to where, what I'm saying, I can get out there on my own and get to where I want to go. And plus I got, the map and I can do map quests and all that and the GPS. But when we sitting around idle and ain't nothing going on, I pop out the Switch and I was playing LA Noire. I was playing Doom and I was enjoying it. But if I had it on the PlayStation, I'm telling you right now that them games would have had nothing but dust. They would have been like, man, when the last time, because Shadow of the Tomb Raider is going through it right now. I love the game.
I've seen it to get that.
Yeah, it's a good game. But the fact that I don't have access to my TV where the PlayStation is because of my twins and my wife and just that being, because I'm not down here as much. And I've been, I kind of come down here, but now my son is down here. So I took my PlayStation 4 upstairs. He ain't taking over my man cave, but he has kind of, tried to stage a heist on my man cave.
Yeah.
And but the TV that I like playing my PlayStation 4 on is upstairs. So I got a Mitsubishi 1080p down here, but it's a projection, it's rear projection. It's nice looking, but it ain't nowhere near the 4K upstairs. And so I want to play up there because of the quality of the experience. So yeah, man, the PlayStation 4 just ain't getting loved right now. I haven't turned my PlayStation 4 on probably in 4 months. Maybe one time in that time frame. And that was to boot it up, to play it. And I got to the credit screen, to the startup screen, and the wife then walked in, and that was it. That was the end of that. So and I'm not gonna, I have a second dock. I got a little Signia dock for the Switch, so I could take it in my room, which I got a 4K in there too, a LG in there. Is it a 4? Yeah, that's a 4K in there. It ain't. I got all the bells and whistles of the one I got in the front, but I got that portable dock. So when they want to watch movies in the front or put a cartoon on for the girls, I can go in a bedroom, dock the Switch there, undock it in the front, dock it in the bedroom, and I'm back to gaming. I'm not unplugging that PlayStation 4 to take it into the bedroom to have to unplug it to take it back in the front because my wife ain't gonna allow me to keep that thing in the bedroom. So it just really ain't convenient right now for me with the PlayStation 4, man. So that's why I was like, The Witcher on the Switch was interesting. But if I'm going to play The Witcher 3, I want the full experience. I want the full graphical.
Well, I'm gonna challenge you on that. Because I heard you say the better version. It's the Switch version, from what I know, is the full version, and it's running at 720 on the dock and at 30 frames per second. The PlayStation 4 Pro or even the Xbox One X, well, actually, I think the One X is running at 60. But for the most part, the game across the board, outside of the Xbox One X and PC, is running at 30 frames per second. So it's going to be the same experience, unless there's dips in the frame rates and stuff like that.
Well, I'm talking about visually. Like,
but
I know it's going to be a visual trade-off. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the trade-off. I know it's going to be the exact same experience as far as storyline and what you're doing. I'm saying if I can spend less and get a more pleasing, visually looking game, like the game that I've been watching all these years, watching, little walkthroughs and, stuff like that. I'm like, should I go out and spend $19 on the one that I could get for the PlayStation 4 or spend the $59 for the Switch version? And I'm probably going to play the Switch version more because of the way the Switch operates. But I don't know. That's where I'm kind of torn at. That's $19 is easy to tell them, hey, it's just $19. Oh, $59, it's a little different. So I don't know yet. I'm kind of torn on that. But anyway, that's a little longer than we should have been talking about that. But anyway, so what you been gaming on, or have you started on that yet?
Yeah, I said Hollow Knight, and then I was also going to say God of War 4. But then I got to the part where, I don't know if anybody's played this, a spoiler, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you met the witch.
Uh-huh.
And the game kind of opened up from there. Kind of turned me off a little bit because I was like, I don't really want to think about all this. And I kind of hadn't played it since then, but I'm probably gonna get back on it because I really.
Well, okay. Well, ho. What you mean? You talking about the part where you meet the mother or the woman? Well, you might not know this, so let me be careful.
This is early.
This is early. So this is the woman under the tree, under the turtle.
Yeah.
Okay, what about it did turn you off? Because that was when the game really started to open up for me. Like, whoa, this is getting into it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. The game opened up and they started showing like all these different places you can go, and I was like, I don't feel like doing that right now. I wasn't in the mood. It got
overwhelming.
Yeah, it got overwhelming. I was like, I'm not like, I'm good right now, but I'm gonna get back at it though.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute. So you saying if it would have stayed on this linear trajectory, you would have been more geared up for like the old Gods of War, where it stayed on a pretty straightforward linear path, whereas this one kind of goes into where it's still linear. Don't let it fool you. It's still linear.
Yeah, it's still just. It just kind of opened up, and I was like, I really don't want to run all the way over there now because it's like now I can see my destination. Before it was like I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm just going to keep playing until I see something happen. Now it's like I know that I have to go over there, and for me that kind of turned me off.
Okay. Ah, man, I feel your pain. That's kind of what happened with Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It was requiring me to do more than I really had to give at that time.
Yeah.
I was enjoying it, but what it was asking me to do and the puzzle pieces and all that stuff, I was just wasn't in the mood for it.
Exactly.
So I turned it off, and it's been off ever since, man. I feel bad because that game is great, but it's kind of me. It's kind of the fact that when I get off work, sometimes I'm trying to game because I bought the stuff, not because I really want to play. I don't know if you can relate to that. You're not gaming because you want a game. You gaming because you bought the game.
Yes.
And that's kind of what it kind of was at that moment. Not that the game is not good. It's just I was in one of those, and I got to break out of this rut of laziness. I'm kind of getting lazy, man. I'm 40 now, so I guess I got the right to be a little lazy. Go ahead. What'd you say?
I said, oh.
Yeah, I'm 40, man. I just hit the big 4-0 a few weeks back, or about a week back.
Oh, man.
So
happy birthday.
Yeah, thanks, bro. So I think I got the right to be a little lazy, but I need to get back on this stuff, man. I got all this equipment and stuff that I ain't taking advantage of like I should. But anyway, anything else? You said Hollow Knight, you said
God of War.
God of War 4. What else?
Man, that's it.
Okay, well, for me, man, I went out and bought Mega Man 11.
Uh-oh.
It's hard. I'm just gonna be honest, man. I ain't beat nobody. Bro, I know the Mega Mans of back in the day, especially the Mega Man X. Those was hard. This game is kind of in that field. It's a little harder than the regular Mega Man games. I don't know if it's my skill set. I don't think it's my skill set. I ain't played long. I played just enough to get a feel for it, and I played the demo. And I did make it to the boss on the demo. I didn't beat him, but I made it to him. It was just hard getting to him, like, learning the stage, learning what you had to do at each part of the stage. But it's definitely a good game, man. It's on 20. I blame Alex, man. I saw him. He got it on clearance at Walmart for $10. So I thought I might look up and find a copy for that price. So I had been on the scout for it for a while, on the lookout for it for a while. And I caught it for $24, $24.99. I thought that's not bad. I copied for that. And like I said, I played through, I think it's Spark Man or Electricity Man or something like that. Electro Man or something.
Probably Spark Man.
I don't remember which one it was, but I played through it, and that dude's stage was ridiculous. Now, one of my issues with the game, and I've been hearing this complaint with others who played the game, is if there's a little lag to what you do and when he does it. What you push in, what you input, and what Mega Man actually does. There is lag. There's a lag that doesn't feel like the NES days. That part I don't like, and I don't feel like he controls as nimble and agile and quick as those games. He kind of stiff. He got a little stiffness to him.
Yeah.
So I got to get recalibrated to that, and that was my issue with the demo. Was I remember now that I think about it, I remember saying all this when I was talking about the demo. I got to get used to the stiffness of how Mega Man moves in this game. He's not as nimble as he was in the original NES version. So I think that's what it is, man. Like, I'm moving at a pace that the game ain't keeping up with. So it's forcing me to, like, if I jump to shoot whatever is in my way, it's not shooting at the same time I'm pushing it. So I'm missing it, or I'm shooting before it, or I'm shooting after it, and it just don't work. But once I get back to familiarizing myself with the controls and the stiffness of this game, I think I'll be cool.
Yeah, you gotta adapt. You gotta adapt to the lag, which is kind of silly. Like, I gotta adapt to a flaw, but unless you want to play the game and beat it, you don't have to.
Right.
Because it's definitely not like the X games. The X games, he was fast. He had the little slide move mechanic. With the NES games, it was very traditional jump. He had a little down slide, but it wasn't the same. I used to love the Mega Man games.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of the most solid 2D games like Mario. I mean, in many cases, you could say Mega Man was even more, just as solid as Mario in controls. Because, I mean, you had more, you was doing more than just jumping. You was jumping, shooting, sliding,
right,
the whole nine, so but that was one of the, I think, good things about the game, one of the qualities of, about the game was its tight controls, and I don't believe that fully transitioned to this newer version, this 11 version. So I could have got the original Mega Man compilation. All it had like all of them on one disc, and then all the collection. Yeah. I could have got that one too. I think it was only like 24 as well. But I was like, no, I'm gonna go and get this 11, see what it's about. But it graphically it looked good. It's colorful, it pops, it looked better than the demo look. I was kind of surprised at how colorful and how vivid and how bright. And it just pops off the screen. It literally pops off the screen. And that part was very pleasing. But the controls are just, it ain't bad. Just could have been tweaked just a little bit to perform on par with the original. This game would be solid. It's good. It's not solid though.
Yeah.
So I don't even like how he runs. That's another thing I don't like. The way he runs, like he ain't even really. And that was one of my issues in the demo. He don't look like he really running on the stage, like he just gliding across a surface. Not really, his feet is not really planting and hitting the stage as if he's running. Yeah. It's just like he's sliding across the floor. And that's kind of weird. But outside of that, I've been looking at this game called Blade 2. I don't know if you saw it in the Hangout. It kind of reminds me of a knockoff God of War. Like the angles from which you playing it at, like that kind of drawn out camera angle over the top. But it looks cool, man. I think I'm gonna get that, and I'm also still planning on getting Mario Maker 2. And then I don't know what's going on out there because there's so many games coming, man. I don't know what we're gonna do. So we got to get in. So that's what we've been gaming on. I ain't playing the music. I got to load that all up. But what's up, Cornelius? Welcome to the show. So let's go ahead and get into it. So right now, we didn't do our recap for last week. Let me explain what happened. We couldn't do Thursday because Keith couldn't make it. And I did not want to do it without Keith. And so me and K-Bun was going to do it, but I felt like we needed everybody here to do the E3 recap. So we decided we was going to try to do it on Sunday, which I knew wasn't realistic because Sunday was Father's Day, and it didn't happen. So here we are. We apologize for not, Cornelius, why you got to call us out like that, man? Yeah, we've been slacking, you know what I'm saying? But we here to give you that good that we always do. So we're going to give you our recap on the rest of E3, and we're going to talk about Stadia and the pricing. K-Bum is at a Cardinals game right now, so that's why he's not here. But he will be here a little late. And I'm hopeful that D2K is able to jump in as well. I'm not for sure. He might not be able to. But so let's get it in. So we already gave y'all our thoughts on Microsoft. There go D2K right there. Speaking of D2K, I was just talking about him. Hey, he's here. What's up, D2?
What's up?
Okay. So it's crazy. I just said your name. But so you here now. K-Bomb should be here a little bit later. So since you're here, what you been gaming on, D2?
You know what I've been gaming on? The greatest game that was ever created.
Halo?
No.
Is it Halo? No?
No.
Oh, go ahead. I can't remember the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
If you can't remember the name, I'm not going to tell you.
You ain't saying Life, or are you saying it's another game you play, unless you're talking about Life?
No.
Then I can't remember it. I remember it's a PC game. That's all I remember.
Well, it's not a PC game. It's on every game system that there is, except for the Switch for some reason.
Is it some former?
Nope.
I can't remember.
Slime Rancher, man.
Yeah, Slime Rancher. I was close. No, I wasn't. I wasn't close. Anyway, anything else outside of Slime Rancher?
Not really. I mean, I've been very busy. I'm preparing for a comic convention next weekend. So I've been very busy with that.
Okay.
So haven't really had time to really game. But like I was saying before, there was some new DLC that came out for Slime Rancher yesterday. Or no, that was Tuesday. Tuesday it came out, and I'm really excited about that. It's a whole new level, new items, some new. There's one of the characters on the game. His name is Victor Humphreys. He's a brother, and he's like a scientist, and he's created these. He creates a lot of different gadgets and things. And he's created this whole world for you to try to catch these slimes that are actually glitches.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is you go into his shop, you can go through a portal to this world, and it looks like the normal board you've been playing on, but it's kind of like mixed with a little bit of. It kind of looks like Minecraft a little bit, like really simple graphics, and the music kind of changes to like an 8-bit version of the actual in-game music. And you're looking for these slimes. They look just a little bit different from the regular slimes. Like their face looks weird, and when you select them, they blast open, and the glitch slimes pop out. You got to vacuum them up and catch as many as you can to bring back to him to analyze. And if you keep bringing them to him, then he give you more and more things. So it's cool. I mean, it's something more to do in the game. So this is one of those games where you get a lot of free DLC, but they actually had some new stuff that was some paid DLC that I bought because the game itself was so good and it gave me a full game experience. I don't mind paying extra for DLC. I want to do that because the game more than delivered for the little money that I paid for it. So why not give them an extra $7? You know, they deserve more because I got my money's worth for it. So, I mean, that's a whole other conversation in and of itself is, DLC. If you get a full gaming experience, do you feel bad or do you feel good about paying more for more content, or do you think it all should be free?
Okay.
I got a question, D2K. What kind of comic convention are we talking about? Like the typical Marvel, DC, or are we talking about like also with how you say it, mangas? Did I say that right?
You must be talking about San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the same format as that. Is nowhere near as big as that though. I'm not sure who this company is. They've been doing Comic-Cons for a little while, but this is the first time that they've actually had this particular convention in the town where I'm from. So it's a pretty nice sized convention. They got some nice celebrities there. They have the original 4 voice actors of the Ninja Turtles cartoon from the 90s there. And I'm hoping to get to meet them because I actually follow 2 of them on Facebook, and Townsend Coleman, he was the voice of Michelangelo. I talked to him a lot on Facebook, and Rob Paulson, he was the voice of Raphael in the original cartoon. He's also the voice of Donatello, the 2012 version of the Turtles, which was really weird, especially the crossover episode that they did. But yeah, I'm hoping to get one of the pictures that I drew of the Turtles signed by all 4 of those guys. The voice of Mario is going to be there, Charles Marionette, something like that. That's his name.
Yeah.
The voice of Mario, Luigi, Waluigi,
So
Wario.
he does all the voices.
Yeah, he does all of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't.
He's going to be there. Ray Park is going to be there. Nichelle Nichols is going to be there. Lieutenant Uhura from Star Trek. Sean Shamel is going to be there, the voice of Goku.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's going to be some nice celebrities there.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And this is popping off when?
It's June the 28th through June the 30th.
So that's next weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Now
man.
I'll be in Artist Alley. So yeah.
You got to give us some feedback on that, man.
Oh, no doubt. Of course, I won't be on the show because I'll be preparing for the thing.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I will. Yeah.
I mean, it depends however it falls, but I mean, definitely when you do next time we do hear from you, we definitely gonna have to, get some feedback on that. I've never been one. We were supposed to go to E3 one year, but that kind of me and L Live, but that kind of fell through. And it was actually gonna be me, L Live, and K Bum, but that ended up not happening. But yeah, we were supposed to shoot out there. And John Shaw tried to get me to go to the convention out in New York at the top of the year. What's that? Not Gamescom. It's when all the new technology come out. That
GDC?
GDC. There you go. He was trying to get me to fly out there, meet my wife and him and his now wife. He's married now. But yeah, he got married. I think he's been married maybe a year. I'm not for sure. I saw it. I can't remember exactly when it happened, but it happened last year. I know that. He went on and popped the question, bro. Put the ring on the finger. Congratulations, John Shaw. But anyway, that's what's up. Well, let's get into these topics, man. Welcome to the show, Mr. Red Knight, Active Gamer Life. He said if y'all get on that Game Pass grass, add me. What's going on with Game Pass? I'm trying to figure out what's going on if we're going to talk about it now. I know we're talking about Stadia, but I don't know if we're going to talk about, well, we kind of going to probably talk about Microsoft and what they're doing. But anyway, so let's get into it. So we got to give our recap, our conclusion of E3 2019. Then we're going to talk about the Stadia pricing and, kind of the, folks not happy. Is there, are people just hating to hate? We're going to get on that, get on all that and probably some other stuff too. But who do y'all want to start with? We already dealt with Microsoft for the most part. We dealt with EA. We got Square Enix, Ubisoft. When we was doing the show, Bethesda was having theirs. I don't think anybody here really want to talk about that.
Well, I wrote a list of games that kind of like made me.
Yeah, put them over here, and I'll pull them up and play them. That way, that we can see what you're talking about.
All right, let me see.
Well, who you want to talk about first? Who we want to go with first? I'm gonna let y'all decide.
The people that we didn't talk about yet?
Yeah, the other companies we didn't talk about. Third party or first party. We know Sony. Let me ask this. Was Sony missed?
Yep.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, I think we missed Sony. But go ahead. Keith, did you feel like we missed Sony this year?
Yeah, because there wasn't a lot of surprises. Like I think Sony always brings like 3 or 4 new games we've never seen before. So
yeah, I think Sony was actually missed this time. But okay, well let's start with Ubisoft. Let's go with Ubisoft. I'm gonna pull it up here in a second, but D2, you haven't been on the show the whole time, so me and Keith been talking a lot. So, what was your take on Ubisoft's presentation, their conference, the games that they showed? Was there any standouts? Just give me your take.
I don't have a take on it. I don't. It's a totally unnecessary venture for them to do an E3 conference. I'm sick and tired of them showing Just Dance all the time.
Oh yeah, hold on, let me pull that up. I gotta pull that up. Go ahead, dog.
It's just nobody cares at all. Yeah, Watch Dogs 3 look cool and all that, and a couple other things look cool. I mean, there wasn't anything that they showed that was like, oh my god, they did that. It was just like a lot of the problem with these third party conferences is that they're sticking to a format that got played out like 10 years ago. I mean, the way that they do their conferences is very bland, very dry, very antiquated compared to the way Microsoft does it or the way Sony did it, was trying to do it. I mean, they were trying to do new things, but last year was just weird. But at least they were trying to do something different. Microsoft seems like they mastered, the E3 style of show in terms of format and pacing and content. But Ubisoft is just doing it the old way with a whole bunch of people standing on stage talking, lame jokes, uninteresting people. It just go away. Just stop. I mean, the only good thing about it is that unless Mr. Aisha Tyler wasn't out there again.
Dude,
No,
Johnny,
she's gone.
stop that.
But I agree. I think honestly, when I look back, and I did like a small recap just to see what type of games I would enjoy from Ubisoft, and I only came up with 3. Watch Dogs, like you said, even though it didn't really look as good as like 2 did to me. Actually, I take that back. I wrote 2. I put it in the chat for us, but in that Gods and Monsters game. But I think they were doing all that talking because they didn't have much to show, or a lot of the stuff that they were showing was stuff that we already knew about. Like a lot of the stuff was, they brought a lot of DLC to a conference. Who does that? So it was very.
This is that
Watch Dogs Legion.
Watch Dogs. I don't believe they gonna pull. I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. Not to interrupt you, Keith. I don't buy and believe they gonna pull off what they claiming. What you think about that? Saying that you can become any player, any what you call PC character? What you call the little characters? What they call NPC characters. Any one of them you can play, and they have a unique story, new back. I don't believe it. I don't believe that. I believe you're gonna get to a certain amount of them, and then it's gonna repeat or rehash a story in some type of capacity. I just don't buy. I don't buy Ubisoft saying that it's gonna be like that. I don't know how y'all feel about that or not.
That's not even my complaint. The game just don't seem interesting.
That too.
I think that it would be a finite resource that you couldn't just keep doing it forever and ever. I mean, I think that there will probably at a certain point, maybe not recycle the characters, but maybe other characters might be deleted and new characters might be put in their place. That's the only thing. That's the only way that it would make sense that would keep it feeling fresh, even though it's really not.
Right, but, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't believe like every character has been voice acted. I just don't. I'm like, dude, stop it, man. Y'all ain't that dude. To take on that task, y'all will still be working on this game. So I just don't buy them. And another thing, and I posted this, and I don't know if you saw it, D2 or Nick Keith. I put in there that I felt like Ubisoft is the poor man's studio. They got good games, but never great games.
Yeah.
And that's how it feels to me. Like, as much as I hate EA gonna hit you with something that's just absolutely incredible here and there, and every now and again they'll put a Mass Effect out, or they'll be associated with these type of Dead Space. I can't think of a Ubisoft game outside of the Division that was just, oh my God, great. Assassin's Creed maybe back in the day. I don't know. I just feel like they the poor man's studio. They the second tier of the major studios.
Yeah, they seem to have like really, really, really good ideas sometimes, and then they overlay it with Assassin's Creed. If you know what I mean, like honestly, the first Watch Dogs is like basically Assassin's Creed in the modern era. That ship game that they came out with, that's basically the ship parts from Assassin's Creed. But they do come out with good ideas, and they do have like a lot of different games. Like they have a lot of different things, but it's like you said, they don't take it far enough, and it's never great. It's just good. It's kind of middle of the road. We did enough. This should be enough. And it's like, no, you can go further and make this an outstanding game, but they never do. They never take it to the next level.
I mean, they've had some good franchises over the years, like the Ghost Recons and the Rainbow Sixes, and stuff like that have a good taste in gamers' mouths. Over the years, that they can think like, yeah, those games are always good, but they're never great. They're just always good. It's always a solid B with Ubisoft.
Yeah, solid. There you go. Perfect. A solid B. They never give you just a totally trashy effort. It never breaks into, man, that's a 8, you know. So
Or even a B
and if
plus.
yeah, or when they do it is something like, you know, when they did Mario and Rabbids, that was a collaboration with a Nintendo IP. So they kind of had the help of Mario's fairy dust over it. But what y'all think about this title? I like that Brawl Holla. That looked cool. But what y'all think about this game?
What is this, Ghost Recon?
Yeah.
Nope.
Again, that's what all they games have a similar feel to it. They feel lifeless. They don't feel like they got heart.
Yeah, they got good franchises like Splinter Cell, great franchise. The Assassin's Creed could be so much better if they weren't trying to like make it an annual game. I think they stopped doing it though. But this Ghost
Started
Recon,
to right back up because
this Ghost Recon can honestly challenge the Call of Duties if they wanted it to. But they don't. They don't want it to go that far. They don't want it to. To me, it doesn't seem like it's kind of like I said. They just want to copy paste what they've been doing, throw it out there, even put it a B. I'm sorry, even if Mario and Rabbids was just a B plus, I give it a B plus. It still wasn't as far as it could go.
yeah, I won't say it was an A. I definitely won't say it was A. But if you take Mario off of that game,
You take Mario out the game, it might even be better. And I'll say that because
okay,
you're not limited to the Mushroom Kingdom. Now you can do whatever they want, but at the same time, it won't get the same attention.
right, and that's what I'm saying. Like if you take Mario off, do you feel you feel like they could possibly have made a better game, but it wouldn't have got the recognition. Mario automatically got the recognition.
Yeah, it
I
would have
don't
been
know.
sleeper.
I mean, I look at Starlink. I mean, it's a good game, but after you play it for a while, I'm like, I'm done. I I don't know if I'm wrong for that, but I have been done with that game after a few days of playing it.
Assassin's Creed in space.
Yeah. Anyway, anything else with Ubisoft y'all want to discuss? This what D2K was talking about right here. They need to stop with this. They need to stop with this, dude. No, I'm serious, man. They need to quit with this. Like, we don't need y'all to push this game. They just make themselves look silly constantly doing this every year.
I'm just who's still playing this game?
They
it's 2019.
Well, I mean,
if you got
my daughters would probably play this game, D2. If I bought this game, my little 8-year-old and 3-year-old twins, they'd play this game. But I'm with you. They don't need to promote it.
I just don't. I mean, I mean, you know, I understand from a company standpoint, you have to promote your product because if you don't, then people won't buy it. But it just amazes me how every single year they make sure that they have this presentation for Just Dance, and all it is a new skin over the same engine every year. Just I don't know. I mean, this is part of the, like I just said earlier, they're using the same tired format that other companies have stopped using years ago. This is what Microsoft did for years with Madden at their show. Every E3 conference had to have a Madden show, and nobody cared.
Pause. You see that? The Wii. It's coming to the Wii, guys. Dust it off. You can play your Just Dance. Not the Wii U. The Wii.
It's right.
That's amazing. It's coming to Stadia. Look at that. It's right next to Stadia. The Wii and then the Stadia.
Yeah. That's sad that they ain't even got the they don't even have the reasonable respect to put it on the Wii U. They just like as if people don't like the Wii U don't exist. That's sad. But
I mean, even Nintendo's trying to work hard to make that console not exist.
My thing is this, man. I feel like, and we ain't got there, but I feel like these press conferences prove that maybe y'all should go to a pre-taped and edited format. I don't know. We'll get there. We'll get there in a second. But I think Sony hasn't perfected theirs yet. But I believe they will. I believe they will. Well, the next time we see Sony and they do state of play, it's gonna kick behind. It's gonna do some major stuff. I think Microsoft need to consider doing a pre-recorded, edited presentation. You can cut out all the fluff, you can cut out all the mistakes, and you can get it to the perfect message you want. And I feel like these shows prove that, like D2K said, this is a pastime. This is something that it don't work. When this part came on, I turned Ubisoft show off. I honest to God, when he gave that long speech about we ain't gonna quit, we ain't gonna give up, and they ran on stage and started dancing, I said, okay, I'm done. That's it. I didn't watch no more.
I mean, I'll push back on it a little bit just from Microsoft's standpoint, because Microsoft, like I said, they did find their niche of how it works.
Okay.
They did eliminate a lot of the fluff, a lot of the things, a lot of the mistakes. And it's been 2 years in a row where they've had an actually seamless E3 conference. Now, there was too much video footage and not enough gameplay. They got to fix that. But as far as actual execution, it was flawless. And they knew exactly how to. I mean, when you have Keanu Reeves walk up on the stage, I mean, that if you're gonna have stuff like that, that's how you do it. They did it right.
And he didn't say a lot either. He just said what he had to say and got off. And they also don't bring out cars no more.
Well, they did, but it was Legos.
Now, what's this game right here? I don't know if y'all seen it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, this Division. This is the Division. My bad. I'm tripping.
Speaking of, I know we're talking about Ubisoft, but if y'all ever played some of those Horizon DLCs, they're pretty good. The one before was Hot Wheels. I got some video footage on my little 8 video YouTube channel, but those little, are you shooting me? You want to shoot me? Let me push pause. No, those Horizon DLCs are pretty good, man. They're actually pretty fun. If they wanted to, man, they could honestly challenge like have a middle of the road type of Mario Kart feel for their games, like the realistic driving, but also have it quirky enough with those DLCs. If they wanted to, I don't think they will though, but it's possible.
Okay. Anything else with Ubisoft's press conference, or we want to move to another one?
We can move.
So, what's your grade on Ubisoft?
D.
Incomplete.
I give a low C. A low C. I gave Microsoft a low C, but I said a D because PlayStation wasn't there. And I said I think Ubisoft and Microsoft was kind of. I could have gave them an F with that Just Dance stuff, but I say a low C, high D. Yeah, I agree with D2K. Why you say incomplete, Key?
I just don't feel like I feel like they didn't bring anything. I mean, Gods and Monsters looks cool, but it's they remind me. What's that one game that we've been saying that we wanted to come back? They haven't said anything since.
Oh, Good or Evil.
Good. They haven't said anything. Like you give us these nice little trailers, but you're not saying anything about these games. This
Beyond Good and Evil.
This game looks brand new. It looks fresh. Of course, it has like a little Breath of the Wild feel to it, but man, give us something. Give us some gameplay. Show us what it is. And don't have me waiting until next year because I'm going to forget.
When they showed us Beyond Good and Evil, there was a total CGI movie representation of what the game, I guess, is aspiring to be. It wasn't when I saw that, I was like, that's an ambitious, with the gorilla and all that stuff. I was like, man, if that game looked that epic, that's gonna be amazing. But like D2K said, wasn't much gameplay shown of hardly any of these games. So Cars to come back this year and show us another CGI trailer wouldn't have made sense. So I kind of see why they probably didn't come back to Beyond Good and Evil. But last year I thought Ubisoft knocked it out the park. This year I felt like either because the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Scarlet is right around the corner, they felt like we just gonna get out what we got or they didn't have nothing. You know.
I think that's something that should underscore a lot of what we're saying about these conferences is that a lot of these companies just don't want to show what they really have under the hood right now because a lot
Okay.
of what they're doing is pushing things forward towards PS5, Xbox 2, and Stadia. And they can't really show a whole lot. So they kind of going to just push everything that they had that was in the docket for the current gen systems out there and get that over with, and then next year you see people dropping bombs.
I agree with that. I believe it's definitely has something to do with the fact that they in that transition spot where, like you said, they ain't trying to show they hand just yet, or too early. But I agree with that. I agree with that full fledged. Okay, let's move on to Square Enix. Any well, of course, this game. Of course.
That's
How did
it.
y'all feel about Final Fantasy VII remake?
Oh man, I'm getting that. That was a gorgeous demonstration. That was a gorgeous game. Even the stuff I'm not gonna talk about after the show because we can only talk about the show. That game was gorgeous, but that's all I saw from them.
Yeah, I didn't see anything else. Well, they had a lot of games, a lot of JRPGs for the Switch, and they had a lot. What was it? What else did they show? They showed a few things, but nothing that we didn't already know about though.
Yeah.
No noticeable surprises.
I mean, I throw a nod to Dragon Quest 11 just because I never played one.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, and I know everybody was saying that Square Enix and Nintendo saved E3 and stuff like that, but they didn't have a lot of stuff for me. But I'm not saying what they showed was bad because they did show gameplay. They showed a lot of things that get people's hearts warm and stuff. So
Okay. G2, what's your talk? What's your take? I mean,
I didn't see this one. Only thing I really saw was gameplay of the Final Fantasy 7, and that was about it. I didn't see anything else. I like what I saw, and um, now did they say this is going to be a PlayStation exclusive now? Because I thought it was coming to that and the Xbox.
I think
it's
it's gonna
supposed
be
to be
on
coming
everything.
on everything. I don't think it was when they first announced it. It seemed to be a PlayStation temporary, like a timed exclusive for PlayStation. But I think that changed. I don't think it's exclusive to
Okay,
PlayStation no more.
okay. Because I never actually finished the original, so I have a reason to get this one, and I wanted to, see if this game was too much of a departure from that to where it feels like just a brand new game. But I mean, from what I'm seeing of the game, it looks amazing. I'm not really a RPG guy, but this was a game that just kind of transcended RPGs and just like you got to play this. And this is something that if I'm going to own one, this is definitely the one to own. And I think that from a lot of people, myself included, we kind of felt like this game was drifting into that vaporware phase where we may never see it, and now we actually see why it was taking so long for them to show us some definitive gameplay, and it was worth the wait. So,
Oh yeah.
Let me
yeah,
say this. Now I never played the original on the PlayStation. I seen it. Matter of fact, my younger brother, best friend at that time, was really arguing for the PlayStation being better than the 64, and I had Ocarina of Time, and he had this game, and this was the game he was, saying why the PlayStation was better than the 64. And I was, of course, because I'm that back then, I was definitely on, Nintendo and Zelda. But after he played Ocarina of Time, he went and bought a 64. But I never played this game because it was a JRPG, and I didn't like those type of turn-based games. But this looked like this is not necessarily turn-based. This is
No.
like you actually controlling the character, and that makes me more likely to want to buy this game. It looks amazing, and when I saw that it wasn't turn based, that actually was all I needed to see.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 15 is like that too. I have it on my on Steam. I wish I could play it. But Final Fantasy 15 is similar, and I think they're taking some of the same what would you call it, D2K? Not battle system, or what I guess you could say. They're taking the same battle system and implementing it here.
Combat system.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the Final Fantasy VII kind of like it's very similar to Zelda games where it kind of is somewhere stuck in the middle. It's not just one thing, so it's kind of its own thing. I mean, like Zelda is it's not an action adventure game, but it's not an RPG, but it's got elements of both.
Right.
This kind of like this.
That's what this looks like.
To that. Yeah,
this
similar to
like
that.
And the original was straight up turn-based RPG, and that's the only thing that kept me from, because I just never really could get into that. I don't know why. I just felt like I was outside the game. I wasn't, even though I'm making the decisions and the choices, I'm not doing what that's kind of why I almost didn't get Mario and Rabbids, because I felt like, am I really gonna get into that? But I end up liking it. And me and Keith been talking about this, man, trying new things, and I'm interested in giving some new genres a spin to see if I actually might like it. But my experience with JRPG turn-based RPGs, I never have liked them. So when I saw this, I was happy to see that they kind of took it away from that turn-based and let you actually control, what's his name? Cloud, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. His name is Cloud, and we gonna be talking about the Cloud here in a second. But I like the fact that they let you control them. That look like almost like Ganon, Calamity Ganon on Zelda right there. But that was cool. When he climbed, when you fight Calamity Ganon, he crawling around the wall.
No.
I don't know if you can see it. I'm looking at the gameplay, but yeah, man, this looks good, man. K-Ball said he probably not gonna make it, but he's still at the Cardinals game. But yeah, I think I might get this, man. So I guess we say this all we really saw worth talking about with Square Enix press conference, right?
For me, it was.
What about you, D2?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Okay. So who left? What's left? So Ubisoft, Square Enix, Bethesda. We ain't gonna talk about.
No,
Bethesda.
we're not. No.
We all don't.
We're not gonna talk about who.
Bethesda.
Well, hey.
All right. Oh, good. Let me know what you want to see. I'll pull it up.
I got a few shout outs. I don't know where they are in the conference. Because I didn't actually watch the conference, so I can't give it a grade. But I did, for this purpose of this show, I went back and looked at some of the games, and I had 3 highlights. Of course,
and it's Bethesda.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can start off with Doom Eternal until you start up. So of course we know about Doom Eternal. We already know what that's going to be like if you play Doom and how fast, action pace, and kind of got that Metroid Prime feel to it. Yeah, I had to say it. But there was 2 other ones that kind of intrigued me, and there was no gameplay for them. But Ghostwire.
That was a theme. That was a theme across the whole thing.
Right.
No gameplay.
Ghostwire Tokyo. And the other game, Deathloop. I think I sent that one to you, Level, or I put it in the chat.
Okay.
Where it had 2 black protagonists, and they basically had to kill each other to like stop the loop, because they kept waking up and doing the same thing over and over again.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
kind of like the game you like
12 minutes.
Yeah. But this seems like it's going to be like a lot better as far as like action or whatever.
What was the name of it again?
Deathloop.
I'm trying to find it on a conference.
Yeah. That's it right there.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. All right, go ahead.
But yeah, this game, like, it could be dope. I have no idea what it's going to be, first person, third person. I don't know, but the concept already has me like ready.
Okay.
Ready to see what this is going to be about. Who was that presenting?
I don't know who these people are. I don't know who they are. I kind of went a little farther back than I probably should have, but
if you're watching, man, look at this trailer. And then the other one was Ghostwire Tokyo.
Okay.
Which was another one that had me intrigued. So I'm gonna give those a few shout outs from Bethesda, but I can't give the conference a grade because I did not watch it because we was on the podcast. So
Okay. Yeah, we
yeah,
was. We so we didn't watch it live. We kind of said we'd catch it
yeah.
later. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never went and watched Bethesda's press conference to tell you if I thought it was good or not. I just didn't, because they were showing a lot of the stuff we had already seen, like Doom Eternal and all that, and I was like, well, I seen that, um, and I heard some of the stuff that they were talking about, and people was like, it was a joke, so I didn't go check it out, but I'm glad you did, because you did talk about this game in the hangout.
Yeah.
This looks cool. I mean, for as concept wise, it looked cool.
Yeah, I just hope the game lives up to this concept.
Yeah. Is it? Do they only know how to do first person shooters?
Bethesda. You know what? I think somebody was saying this is what's those games? I can't think of the name of the game.
Interactive?
It's not interactive. It's a first person game, but it's like you can do a lot of stuff. It's more than just shooting. Like you.
Oh, so almost like Mirror's Edge.
No. I can't think
Okay.
of those names of those games though.
That looked cool. That didn't look bad.
They didn't make the what was the one with the Big Brother in it or something like that.
BioShock.
But they didn't make that game, but it's kind of like that.
Okay. To where it's more than just, I got you.
Yeah.
I wasn't big on BioShock, but again, it really was the first person perspective. That even Metroid Prime gives me issue with the first person perspective. I ain't gonna lie, like that. I didn't play 2. I didn't play Metroid Prime 2. I didn't play. I played the first one, didn't fully beat it. I beat the one on the Wii. I beat it, but it's that first person. That first person, man. I just don't like first person at all, But go ahead. Any other title over here from them? Bethesda.
That was it.
I'm trying to find that Doom Eternal. I don't see it.
I think that was towards the end.
How was it? Okay. Yeah, you right on. Are y'all excited about this? Do y'all care about Doom?
Yep.
Nope, I don't.
Nope.
I've never cared about Doom. I'm just never really been into it. It's just like you were saying before. It's just too. I mean, in terms of like mechanics and gameplay and all that type of stuff, that's all cool. But it just, I don't. The subject matter is just not me. I don't want to play a world with satanic imagery and it's just they overdo it. I mean, it's if you're gonna have that sprinkle in here and there, but it's just overrun with it. It's oversaturated with it, and it just feels dirty even playing the game.
It do. It makes me feel like, why am I letting my mind be saturated with all this imagery and
look at that.
I mean, yeah, like that's dude. That's why. That's kind of why I like. I don't even really want this in my catalog of games.
That's one of the things that turn me off for the newer Mortal Kombat, because they go over the top with the fatalities and stuff, to where you can see like the muscle tissue fibers bursting with secretions of fluids and stuff. Like, is that really that serious?
I just don't want. Like, I agree with you on that, but I have as much issue with Mortal Kombat, but I do feel like they do go a little overboard with the gruesome murders and deaths. But it was just too much. The imagery just I couldn't sit and watch that and see the picture. That's why I didn't buy. I don't know if y'all remember Dante's Inferno. That's the reason I would not buy that game. Because I played it and I played the demo and the game was dope, but it had so many elements that just went against my core. And I was like, dude, I cannot. When you got women with phalluses and they sting you, I was like, dude, whoever thought of this was just on some perverted nonsense. So anyway, they ain't here to hear us talk about it. But it looks good though. It looks good. Anyway, let's move on. So who else where we want to go next? Is we going to the Nintendo?
Well, that's the only one left that I can think of.
Yeah, it is, ain't it? So I don't know if Nintendo gonna let me play a little.
Yeah, you might want to be careful with
I'm
that
kind
one.
of scared at that one. But anyway, so
He had to
what
stop presenting.
yeah, I was like, I ain't going there. But so Keith, what was your take on Nintendo's?
I was blown away by Nintendo. Actually, believe it or not, there's not everything that I would have wanted, because of course there's a few things that I still wanted to see, but they started over. No, we're not gonna say MP4. But I think the biggest shock for me was seeing Zelda, Breath of the Wild 2. I mean, we already knew about A Link's Awakening. Excuse me, but I had no idea that they were going to give us a Breath of the Wild 2, and I'm super excited about that. But there's I'm gonna have a pause though. Don't give me more world, and hey, go play in the world. Here's more rain and sand and dust. I want more story this time around, Nintendo. If you're gonna make a 2, I hope you saw the errors that you didn't like give a great story. Well, not necessarily a great story, but a strong story in the original Breath of the Wild. Other than that, I mean, Nintendo showed a bunch of games that I was probably already going to get. I haven't played Luigi's Mansion since GameCube. Kind of excited about that. Link's Awakening. I'm actually thinking that Nintendo should just do this type of style. Like the big open world 3D should be this type of game, and then the smaller games should have the old gameplay formula, because I'm kind of missing it. So I'm kind of looking forward to Link's Awakening, No More Heroes. Daemon X Machina, I'm kind of excited about, but at the same time, I did play that demo, and that demo was not hot. It was actually low key kind of trash. So, and a lot of people saying they went back and they updated it. We shall see. If it's still the same, I can't get down with it.
I kind of pulled up all the games that's scheduled to hit the Switch in the next. Is this 18? No, this is 18. This is the wrong one. I go back. Hold up. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Panzer Dragoon was a surprise. That was, yeah, I was actually pretty surprised about that. Never played one. I seen them at Toys R Us when they were back in the day. I'm sorry, I'm just going down my list that I wrote. Astro Chain. I know everybody's excited about it. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. That art style I like. It looks gorgeous, but at the same time, I have this little inkling that it's gonna be generic. Just for the fact that you have to create your own character, that kind of turned me off. Which lets me know that they're not. I don't know if they're really pushing story. They could be, but it kind of turned me off a little bit seeing that. And I put Cadence of Hyrule, but I'm probably not going to play that. I should probably take that off my list. And that's it. But I give Nintendo an A, man. I give them an A because they had a lot of surprises. They had The Witcher in there. I'm not buying it, but they did have it in there. And they had a lot of games in the little sizzle reel, but I didn't go through all that. That's just too much. But I think they had a really solid conference for once.
D2K.
I think that they had the best of the worst. I don't think the conference was fantastic. I think that it was good enough. I think that they basically just had to hold serve and have a couple of surprises, and that's basically what they did. It's the Zelda game, the Breath of the Wild 2. I'm wondering if this is going to be like a Majora's Mask situation, where it kind of feels more like an extension of the previous game, or will it feel like an actual completely different experience?
Well, it's made in the world and with the same engine as Breath of the Wild, so I don't think it's gonna feel. It's probably gonna be a Majora's Mask feeling game, but they say they're not doing like a Majora's Mask take though.
Well, we'll see. I mean, because if this game is coming out anytime soon, then they're probably doing it the same way. Because there's no reason to build it from scratch all over again when you have all those assets available. You could just tweak things, but we'll see what happens with that. Pretty sure people will enjoy it. Astral Train, or Astro Train, like Level likes to say.
Astro, man. Why I gotta be the butt of folks' jokes today?
It looks interesting. It looks pretty good. It would be something that would be interesting to play, I guess. It looks like it will kind of get boring after a while.
Right.
No More Heroes. I never really got into those games on the Wii, so I'm not really interested in a part 3 to that. Luigi's Mansion 3 looks like the original Luigi's Mansion, which I guess is not necessarily a knock because, the graphics of the GameCube were kind of ahead of their time. And a lot of art styles that they used were still aged very well. But I did not see much of a difference at all in terms of the tessellation of the characters or the textures or anything like that between this Luigi's Mansion and the original. If you take the original Luigi's Mansion and play it on like a Dolphin emulator or something like that and compare it to this, they look pretty close. So I was kind of disappointed they didn't make it look better than it did. But it's another interest. It's another interest to the franchise. So, good on them for that. Since I don't own a Switch and I'm not interested in getting one, a lot of the games they showed not really interesting to me. I just kind of stand back and see if there's anything that stands out, like the Witcher 3 coming to the Switch. I'm interested in how that's actually going to work, because The Witcher 3 had problems running on high-end hardware, I should say. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they're going to do in order to make that game run smoothly and not feel like you're losing so much of the game to where it's like, why even put this here? You know what I'm saying?
I can speak to some of that. After, let's see, the Witcher, you're right. The original Witcher 3, when it came out, I remember my PC was having problems running it, and the game was just having problems in general as far as like the flow and the frame rates and stuff like that. And then they put out the I think it was Blood and Wine DLC. That ran smooth, and I think they updated the original game. So somewhere along the line, they actually got really, really good with the with Witcher, the entire game or whatever. So I think they may have mastered Witcher. So there may not be an issue, but it still could be, seeing the hardware that it's going to be running on. But they definitely improved their engine when they came out with the Blood and Wine.
I don't think that they would even be bothering with this if they weren't going to be able to make it run smoothly. I'm just wondering if they just said, well, we can get the game to run smooth and look decent, but we might be missing a few things here and there. So it'll be just interesting to see how far they can go with that. That Contra game looked like hot garbage.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
My goodness.
I mean, it's just, it did not look, there's nothing about that game that looked like Contra at all. I don't even know why it's called that. It just,
I think it's on all the systems too. I don't think it's just a Nintendo game. I saw it on the PlayStation as well. But
yeah,
I ain't gonna say I'm interested. I ain't totally. It didn't blow me away. It was cool to see a Contra game, but no, it wasn't going down the path I thought it should go. I think it was a little too, like you said, a little too over the. Well, Contra is over the top, so that's not the right. I guess the right way to frame it. It was a little too out of the box of what Contra is. A little even more over the top than what Contra was, like the little polar bear running around. Yeah. But there were aspects about it that I thought were cool. But there's other aspects that made me be like, I don't think that's for me. But I don't want to interrupt you still going. I wait till you're done.
Yeah, I mean, I guess overall it was a good direct. It felt pretty much like a regular direct to me. I think they've had other directs in the past year that were more exciting than this one. But, because everything else around it was so bad or just okay, like Microsoft's conference was. The fact that Nintendo had a solid conference and had some good surprises made it stand out a lot more. And I think that's why a lot of people say, hey, this conference was great. It was fantastic. And it really wasn't. It was just good and everything else sucked. And Sony wasn't there. So that also made it look better. I mean, if you had a strong Sony and a strong Microsoft and decent conferences from everybody else in the same Nintendo Direct,
Okay. I'm gonna push back on it. I think Nintendo did a great job. I ain't finna say that they was, oh my God, but just that Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 announcement was amazing. I think the Panzer Dragoon, is that how you say that? Panzer Dragoon. I thought that was a dope announcement. What was another one? I'm trying to look for all of them. Astral, is that how you say it? Astral Train. I think that game was going to be good. I do feel like you're right. There could be a potential for boredom as I watched it, but again, I still think it's going to be a dope game.
I think for people who are fans of it, will be fine with it. If you were never a fan of Panzer Dragon in the first place, this ain't going to do it for you. But if you already were,
Astral Chain, I was talking about Astral.
Astral Chain. Oh, okay.
Yeah. As far as Panzer, I don't know. I mean, I never really played it. I've seen it played on the. No, I know that's a Sega game, and I think it came out on the Saturn. Yeah, but I never played it. But if it's in the line of what Star Fox was, I can see myself getting into it. Luigi's Mansion look amazing to me, man. I feel you, and I agree. It doesn't. It aesthetically is not crazy out of the box of what the other Luigi's Mansion was, but there is a polish that I gotta tilt my hat to. But I was a Luigi Mansions guy. I like Luigi's Mansion. I never played the Dark Moon on I think the 3DS. Is it 3DS or 2DS? Which one did that come out on?
That was on the 3DS.
Yeah, I never played that one because it was on the 3DS. But I'm looking forward to Luigi's Mansion, man. I'm hyped for Luigi's Mansion. And when they first showed it, it was like, that's cool. I'm gonna get it because it's Luigi Mansion, but it didn't blow me away. But this one got me more hyped for that game. Now, the Dark Crystals, I don't know. I don't. Everybody been okay. I know it's
that was a weird movie. I remember seeing that when I was a kid. I'm like, this is weird. What? Why am I? What? I watched it, but it just was like, I
wasn't feeling that, man. I was like, I don't like this animation. I don't like these. Is it animatronics? I don't know what they call that, but I didn't like it then, and it looked ugly now.
That was Jim Henson's puppets. So
Muppets,
I should say.
Muppets. I didn't like how they looked then, and I'm sorry, I didn't like how it looked now. I'm like, man, this looks like melted wax with hair, and I like you can miss me with that. Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. I'm ready for that. What else here? One more. So it's a lot of stuff that they show that ain't even on here.
And that ukulele, just a shout out to that.
Yeah, that looks good. Where is it? Is it not on here? Nope. What's the game with Travis touchdown? What's that game?
No More Heroes.
No More Heroes ain't even on here. Is it? Where did I?
Yes, I saw it on there. I think it's at the bottom.
Yeah, it is right there. Show this right. That was out of nowhere, and it looked good, even though that wasn't gameplay. We got to be fair. It looked like it looked like it was in engine, but I don't know if that's the right way of saying that, but that definitely wasn't full gameplay.
See, that's the one thing the other thing that I said that really helped Nintendo is that they had the most gameplay of anybody.
Yeah,
at their conference.
Yeah, But this is a lot of freaking games, man. Nintendo got games. This is a lot of stuff. Now, some of this stuff, this was a surprise too. I'm not tripping off of that one. I'm not nobody tripping off Resident Evil 6. But this was a surprise and actually looked really good on the Switch, even though it's a 360 game in the PlayStation. 360 game, so it's looked good. What y'all think about this right here being delayed? Animal Crossing. Why do you think they delayed it?
What's an Animal Crossing?
I mean, animal. Oh, what's an animal?
I don't know. Maybe they got something else they have to do. I don't know why. I mean, that game should have been out by now. It's not like it takes that much to put. I mean, I don't know. What
I think they got too many games to fit, and they pushing it back. Because you got this, you got this, you got, I think this, you got this, you got this.
I will say,
games,
the Pokemon Sword and Shield sparked a big, huge thing on the internet. Now all the artists are basically drawing the character that they show in the game. Nessa, I think her name is.
Okay.
It's just, and I threw my hat in the ring and drew her as well. But
post that, man.
Well, I have a post on my website, but there's I don't know. I mean, it's like some of these, like, I think was Olivia part of the Sun and Moon Pokemon?
You get to talk about Pokemon.
What are you talking about?
You're not in my lane, bro.
What are you talking about?
Y'all supposed to be Nintendo fans.
I like Nintendo. Some of the games. I've never been a Pokemon guy, so you asked the wrong person when you asked Pokemon.
The show.
Welcome to the show, Trigger Man. He kind of echoed what you just said, DTK. He said Nintendo has the most gameplay because the games lack voice acting, motion control, CGI, and multiplayer. No, shut up, Trigger Man. Shut up. Anyway, I should have read your stuff before I read it. Anyway, but no, good point. We got Just Dance 2020.
Oh yeah.
For the Wii.
But anyway, I think, and there's a lot of stuff on here that they didn't. Now, this right here was surprising to me. That God and Monsters from Ubisoft is coming to the Switch. But it looks like Breath of the Wild as far as the design of the game. It looked like Breath of the Wild.
It's going to be another Ubisoft game with a great idea. Mother with Assassin's Creed, and you're gonna go to sleep and you're never gonna finish it.
They said it was inspired by Breath of the Wild. It was inspired by the game design of Breath of the Wild. But I'm interested.
Speaking of that,
go ahead.
I don't mind these companies like taking stabs at like Nintendo games and bringing them to everywhere else because, like I was mentioning with Ukulele, and I think you mentioned something about like, man, Nintendo should just buy it, and I was like, nah. I think everybody should have a Donkey Kong experience because that's what that game basically is.
Yeah, you're totally right on that.
I think everybody should have a Donkey Kong experience. I think everybody should have a Breath of the Wild experience. Like, it shouldn't be just like, oh, Nintendo is the gatekeeper. No, man, this is a good experience. It should be held everywhere. What is going on my TV? So I'm curious to see what that game is going to be about. I hope it's actually good. I hope it's not some watered down. Oops, we made another Assassin's Creed game. So
now let me ask you this: what did you think about the Banjo-Kazooie announcement?
I thought that was dope. I thought
that was dope.
I hope it means that there's a game around the corner.
I heard that there's been a leak, but we know we don't do leaks here. But there's supposedly it's been leaked already, and that it's actually a game, like a re-release. I don't know if it's a remake or just. I don't know if it's a bundle pack or the original Banjo-Kazooie being re-released on the Xbox and the Switch. I'm not for sure, but that's the rumor. Supposedly.
Didn't they already do that?
The Banjo-Kazooie game?
Yeah.
I think they put it in one of those collection packs for I think it was on the 360. They had like a compilation. A collection of all the rare titles, and I think Banjo-Kazooie showed up on that.
I know they had the
rare replay. There you go.
No, that was awful. Oh my gosh, that was wow. That was terrible.
My friend Pedro. Is that a good? You said that's a good game. I'm going to look into that. I haven't really looked at that.
Who says good game?
Trigger Man.
Oh, okay.
Said he picked it up today. Now this Fire Emblem. Anybody here interested in that? We can move on. We got to. Huh?
I tried to get into it, but
nah,
not for me.
Have you seen this Rad? I watched that today. That looks weird. I'm just gonna be honest. That looks extreme, like what D2K was saying. That kind of demonic stuff. You had to go watch it. It's a Unreal Engine 4 produced game. This game I'm getting, man. Ultimate Alliance 3. I think I'm gonna get that. And I prefer this one over the Square Enix version.
Talking about the Avengers?
Yeah, I didn't like. What do you think about that, D2? Did you like the Avengers Square Enix game? Did you like how it looked? I didn't like it. I don't know why. I wasn't feeling it.
Well, let me ask you a question. Was the fact that none of the characters looked like any of the actual actors something that bothered you about it?
Hold on. Welcome to the show, Dark Sound Rider and K-Bum in the comments. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. That did not really stand. It stood out to me, but it didn't bother me. I heard the feedback from many other folks that was their turn off. It really wasn't my turn off. It was the actual game itself. Just, I don't know. It looked good
to me. There wasn't enough definitive gameplay footage.
Okay,
I can't really.
That's fair.
I can't even look at it and say, well, that was gameplay. I don't know. They really did a lot of smoke and mirrors, bait and switch there. So
K-Bo said yes, it did. The character models,
exactly. Like I'm
not gonna say it did for me. I won't sit and lie.
It's not my Iron Man. That's not.
But Captain America did look ugly. Captain America looked like that is not Captain America.
Jesus.
I mean, they, we know the reason why, because they don't have the money to pay for all those people. So
they don't want a good game then.
Yeah, so yeah. Well, I mean, they should have just had this should have been something that EA did because they have that license with Disney, so they could have been able to do it and not have to worry about that. But whatever.
Okay, K-Bum. No, we haven't been talking about Nintendo. We just got on them. See there? Stop hating, man. I saw you there. So what did he say? Somewhere up here. What's up, people? We talking about Nintendo. Yeah, we talking about Nintendo. We talked about everything else already. So, any other game here excites y'all, or that how you say that? Damon X
Machina.
Yeah, Damon X Machina looks way better than the demo look. That demo looked trash, bro. Man. But it looks like they improved it visually. So, but I'm not interested in the game. That demo ruined that game for me. That's one example of not releasing a demo. That y'all shouldn't have released the demo. Because after I played, I was like, this is not what I thought it was. That demo hurt that game, man. That demo literally hurt that game for Nintendo.
I mean, like I was saying, if they make improvements, fine. But like you said, I'm not going to invest my time into that.
Right. That demo messed it up. What about this new Super Lucky Tales? And you going to get that?
No.
Okay, well, let's move on. Okay. So let's get on to Stadia, man. We've been because we kind of been trucking along pretty good. So I guess I'll let you set this up, Keith. And K-Bum, if you want to jump in, man, you're more than welcome to. I'll let you set this up, Keith. So take over. Go ahead. It's you. Man. It's on you.
Okay, kind of threw me for a loop there. So I sent a video to the guys earlier about the Google Stadia, and I was going to say Nintendo for some reason. Google Stadia. The price structure, I think it's called the Founders Edition, and the one is it $149, $129. You get the controller. You get
I'll pull it up.
The $9.99 a month for the subscription service. And then but there's been a lot of people been hating on it and saying, "Oh, I'm not doing it. I gotta pay at $9.99 for the subscription service, and I still gotta pay for the games. Still gotta pay $59.99." And just people, it seems like they just want this thing to fail. They don't want it to succeed
Mm-hmm.
at all, and they
Mm.
forget that everything has to go through these phases. Even the things that you love and are accustomed to now had to go through a phase. I was telling the level earlier. Um, Netflix now, I don't even watch regular shows. If it's not a Netflix original, I really don't even mess with it. And the reason being is because one, I'm paying for the subscription, and two, the stuff is actually good. But if you look back, we gave Netflix that time. Netflix was trash when it came out. Netflix and chill. Are you serious? No, I'd rather do something else. Uh, Netflix had nothing in it but old TV shows, but they stayed the course because everybody was like, "This isn't going to work." It was a disruption, and now, shut up. What's up, K-Mon? And now, like we're on the brink of doing video games the same way, and everybody's like, "No, no, that's not the way I want to play video games." Well, you still have your option to play your box, but Stadia is offering something completely different, and if we give it time and nurture it, it can also be the Netflix of video games outside of paying for your own games. Now, to compare to something like you can buy movies from Apple Music, not Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play. I'm trying to think of some other places that you can buy movies from, and you have to stream them. So you're buying a movie and you have to stream it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, even with video games, if you buy a game digitally, you're not buying the disc, you're not buying the box that it came in, but you're still paying that $59.99 for some reason. But when it comes to Stadia, oh, I'm not paying $59.99 to stream a game. It's the same concept. It's just that you don't physically own it, and I guess that's the problem with that people are having. But I probably didn't set it up. Probably went right into how I felt about it. But take it
No,
from
you
there.
straight, man. Go ahead. You did a good
Because
job,
it's
bro.
actually been bothering me, man. Because it's like we need to give it that time and like let it do what it do. Because like I think the video that we was watching today, he was mentioning that the controller was gonna be $80. All these controllers are expensive. Why is it that when it comes to Google and streaming that there's a problem now? All of this stuff is expensive. It's been that way. You're paying for a console a month. Like basically, like you're paying for it a month. I can't. What K-Bone, you said it earlier. Um,
I had it pulled up.
I can't
It,
remember.
it's like paying for a console on monthly payment fees.
Yeah, or you said something like a server, a console on a server for a month or whatever. But that's basically what you're paying for. That's the subscription service, not the actual games,
Yeah.
because you have to take up that space. This is a lot of technology that they're offering right now. But anybody else can take over from here. I feel like I talked a lot.
I mean, go ahead, K-Bone. You here? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean, I don't mind jumping in on this because I've been a little active. Am I coming in clean? Am I cool? 'Cause I'm in.
Yep.
Yeah, you.
Okay. All right. Cool. So with this, and I've been paying attention to this because I'm um kind of excited for a game changer like Stadia. Something to kind of shake up the status quo, as we see with Xbox, the Microsoft division, and the Sony division joining hands for their streaming service. We've been needing a shake up, and that's why I've always said Nintendo needs to stay in the game because they, from the console side, they add that different layer, different dimension, and adds another shake up to the industry. Um, but when it comes to Stadia, for one thing, we assumed what Stadia was before they told us what it was. We assumed it was going to be Netflix. That was going to be PlayStation Now, and we kind of went through that assumption. And I'll be the first one to say when they didn't do the Netflix or they didn't do the PS Now, I was like, okay, then what are you really doing? And then I sat back and started to think, well, they're offering you all these services. This $9 you're paying for is very similar. Actually, you see more in this $9 than you see when you pay Xbox Live monthly. You're getting more out of this $9 a month than you would if you pay monthly for Xbox Live. Just being completely honest. With all the features they're trying to introduce, they're trying to do, and they're trying to do for you, you're actually getting dedicated servers. instead of when it comes to the Xbox and Sony, some games been dedicated, some games not. And so our assumptions and the reality of what Stadia was led to this initial um, kind of hating on Stadia, or not just hating, but a kind of misrepresentation of what Stadia was. Because I myself thought was like, wow, it's not Netflix. I got to pay for games. And so I actually started to think, understand what it is. It's offering you these services and the fact that you can take your game anywhere and play on anything. You understand? You're paying. That's what you're paying for, and you're paying for the ability to do that. And so um, I'm still excited for Stadia. I still want to see what they can deliver. I think it's way too early to um, to cast full judgment on Stadia. For those who have those issues, like he was saying when Tom was the data cap, yeah, you probably will not be playing Stadia, which is fine because everyone doesn't own an Xbox, everyone doesn't own a Sony, and everyone doesn't own a PC gaming machine, and everyone doesn't own a Switch. It's perfectly fine.
I thought you was gonna leave the switch out. I was just
I
waiting
knew you
to
did. That's why,
blast you.
like,
I was D2. I was on it. You better say switch.
I
Don't
knew you
mess
was
with y'all.
waiting. I
I
said PC
was.
if
I'm
I
like,
said
listen
Switch.
to him. He ain't said Nintendo one time. Go ahead. I'm messing with
I
you.
was coming. I know you are.
I knew
So,
you was.
so yeah, man. So we really have to step back and understand what our expectation was of Stadia and what we're actually getting, and find out even what they're offering now is not really that different or unique or crazy than what the big three have been shoving down our throats for the past 10 to 15 years.
Now, what? Well, go ahead, D2K. Get your thoughts out if you got anything to add to that.
Well, they pretty much covered everything. The only thing I can really add to it is I think a lot of the pushback from Stadia is basically based out of fear because people are being pushed out of their comfort zone and they're being pushed out of the status quo. Um, there's some people who see Stadia as a threat to their perceived notions of what gaming should be, and they don't want that. I think that regardless of what fan base you're a part of, they have different reasons why they're afraid of Stadia. You know,
Uh-huh.
um, I think if you're a Microsoft fan, you know, since Microsoft did not really give you a definitive answer of what xCloud was, you kind of fear that Google Stadia might kind of, upstage xCloud. Um, Sony has not announced anything really concrete about, console. I mean, cloud streaming other than partnering with Microsoft. So we don't know what that's all about. And then with Nintendo, obviously, the Stadia works what they say that it does. It kind of makes the Switch superfluous unless you want to play Nintendo brand games. Because not only can I take my games everywhere, I don't even need to play on my own console. I can go over Level's house and play my Google Stadia games over there. I can play my Google Stadia games over K-Bomb's house, over Keith's house, over Cornelius's house, over Triggerman's house, or Dark Sun Rider's house. And pick up right where I left off.
I gotta give you
I think we get the point. It is key to note. It is key to note that they're not, as of right now, doing cell network. Right now, it's still only Wi-Fi.
It's fine with
Correct.
me.
I'm just saying, as far as the comparison to the Switch, you're still able to play the Switch in the subway, on the bus ride. So you still have those advantages that the Switch will give you over Stadia. So I wouldn't fully call it superb, because even if you don't have internet service and I'm paying it, you still have the ability to game on the go with the Switch. See, I love them defending the Switch.
I
Mark
ain't
got the
saying nothing.
memory.
I
It's
was
kind of
gonna say, like, as far as some of the, I guess, the controversies, let's kind of dive into a little deeper. Like, I know one of the videos I watched, I think the one that Keith shared, brought up the fact that you got to pay full price for cloud-based games. So I guess, I guess the ideal is, since you are basically having a cloud-based system, should the games be a different price because you really don't have, I guess, data. It's all cloud based. So
doesn't even make sense.
I'm just saying that's what they were saying.
That's what he said. You didn't have the zeros and ones.
Yeah.
Actually, you didn't own the zeros
I
and
don't
ones.
know. So first of all, let me say this. This gets off into an area where I need help. So because I don't do streaming services like what's the streaming with y'all do?
Netflix.
I do Netflix. I'm talking about gaming, the streaming service for gaming. That one
On
that's
the
on
PS Now.
not PS Now, the one for PC that everybody uses.
Something like Steam. Steam doesn't
Steam.
stream
Like
though.
I don't use Steam or none of that, so I don't know how.
Steam is not streaming games. You're
Yeah, it's not
downloading
streaming. You
games.
download
So
it.
you
You do
download.
download.
See, okay. See, I don't know. So
On Live was a streaming.
Yeah, on live
service.
was.
Yeah.
okay, so
And
is
then
there
you have the G.
because you laugh D2K? So is there a real concern there, or is that just a fabricated complaint?
What was a real concern? In
The
terms
fact
of,
that they like what I was hearing Rich say, if I was to understand him correct.
no.
And others, he wasn't the only one. He wasn't the only one who said it. This is just a video that.
Okay, well, who are the other people?
I don't know all of them. Nah, I just listened to the videos.
No, it is a fear. There's a reasonable fear of ownership.
Right. That's where
This was the initial pushback on Stadia, was this idea of ownership, and that I don't own anything anymore. And I pushed back on that because we haven't owned music in a long time.
Yes.
When last time you went and bought a CD? I mean, you may bought a single off of iTunes or Google. When last time you bought a CD? And like we buy movies, but we buy movies sometimes just for nostalgia's sake. We buy them and probably watch them once, and then we go back to Netflix and we'll watch. So it's the ownership that it's been really an issue.
I guess my question is, how is it? And I'll give it to you, D2K. I just want to get a thought out. Okay, so when I download a game, right, and we can lose that too, because that's a point that Keith made. If Nintendo or Sony or Microsoft decide that they're going to take, stop, let's say Microsoft is not going to do live anymore and offer that service, do you lose those games you downloaded for the Xbox?
No, you never lose them.
Okay.
The thing is that people don't understand is that you're paying for a license.
Right, I got that.
So no matter, as long as that license is active somewhere, you have control of the game.
So my question would be, how does that understand and translate to what Stadia is doing with their games? If it's not, is it different or is it the same?
It's the same. It's just a different format of how you're actually playing the game. That's the only thing that's different. As far as ownership of the game, it's the same thing. Once you have a digital license that you pay for this game, the game is yours until the company goes under or you die or something like that.
So you digitally so they digitally download the game, but then they play it via Stadia. Because that's what I wouldn't understand.
I don't know if you actually download the game.
No, you're not downloading the game.
Yeah,
you're just paying for a license.
Right. The game is like, because what's basically what they say is that you can actually watch the game being played and click play now, and you're in the game right there. So right. It's a always on type game. You just pay for an opportunity to play it, and once you pay for that license, you always have an opportunity to play that game until otherwise. So
that wouldn't leave if Google decide, hey, we're not doing Stadia no more. That do you lose the ability to play that game?
Yes, if Microsoft were to go bankrupt, then I wouldn't have access to all the games that I brought on Xbox Live. Okay, and that's not going to happen. But I'm just saying that's the same sentiment.
But you got to also think about it like this: like, did you enjoy the game when you played it? Because a lot of people's like, man, 10 years from now, I might not be able to play my games. Do you really care? Like, that was $60 10 years ago. You don't care about that no more. Stop it. You just trying to find a reason to make a negative video on YouTube because you know it gives you clicks. Okay, I'm done.
Hey, bro,
Yep.
I seen some of these YouTube gamers, and they have those 20-year-old games. I don't know if they playing them, but
My
they
only, and I like I said, I don't know. I'm just asking because okay, my understanding is if I buy a game online and it's digital, Xbox, Nintendo now letting you back it up, but you could put that and save it on a hard drive. Let's say so, as long as I got that Xbox and I got that game downloaded and save on a hard drive,
nah,
whether
nah.
whether Sony that's wrong.
Nah, it don't work like that. So let me tell you. So me and
That's
my
what I'm asking.
brother, we do game share, right?
All
So
right.
I can buy a game, and then I can download it on my PlayStation. He can download it on his PlayStation. Right now, I have several games on my PlayStation that I can't play, right? Because
Okay.
my brother bought the game, but I'm playing it on my system. Well, I need to re-download the license from him so I can play the game. They're
Okay.
downloaded on my system. They're there, but I don't have the license to play them, so I
Okay.
can't play them. So it's not just because it's on the hard drive.
Well, it's because you sharing it. So he bought
But
the
but
game,
it
you
doesn't.
just share.
But but it's but what I'm saying is it's still a license. It doesn't matter that yeah my brother bought it. I'm still saying you buy a license,
Okay.
and if
Yeah,
that
well,
license goes away, they can still block you from playing that game. If they go under and they don't have the license service to approve that you have the ownership of this game, they can lock you from playing the game.
right.
Okay. That's crazy. Okay, I got you. I understand. Go ahead, D2.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Xbox Live. I mean, as long as I log in with someone logs in with my gamer tag, they have access to every game that I own in the Xbox library. So, like right now, my friend, he wanted to play um that Contra Hard Corps game I talked about a lot for the original Xbox PlayStation 3. He wanted to play that with his son, so I let him use my gamer tag because I don't have an Xbox right now. I let him use my gamer tag on his Xbox to download the game. Now that game is still on his Xbox, even if I start playing it on mine. But the only way that he can play it is if he logs in with my Xbox gamer tag.
Right, right. So he blocked out without your information.
Right.
Okay, I got that. I'm with you.
And,
And so,
and that's where
so
we
that's
come with the
gonna be
license.
similar to what
Yeah.
Stadia is gonna be doing.
I mean,
It'd be
pretty
a similar concept, maybe not the same thing,
It's
every
similar.
same concept.
almost everything you do digitally is licensed. Your Windows PC, when you log into your Windows 10, that's a license. You open up
Yep.
Office, that's a license. All of it is licensed.
Adobe is now on license.
Adobe
Yep.
is a license.
Mm-hmm.
What do you use? Pro. What's it?
Pro
The music
Tools.
Pro Tools. That's a
Yep.
license
That's a
now.
license now. Yeah, you're right.
Everything is a license.
Everything is a license and everything is going towards streaming. This is like I said in that blog that I did. It's the video games is the last domino to fall. Everything else is being streamed. Look at sports. You had HBO last year say we're not doing boxing anymore. Why? Because now you have the Zone, which is basically at Netflix for sports show. So now you can watch pay-per-view on the Zone for $9.99 a month. And you get to see fights instead of paying $100 for a fight that lasts 2 seconds.
Oh, you can do what? I didn't know about this. Hold up, I need to do some research.
Yeah, the Zone. It's called DAZN. No, DAZN, but it's called the Zone. It's not spelled. It's weird. I think Oscar De La Hoya is affiliated with it. I don't know if he owns it or if he created it, but I know he's part of it. But it's kind of like the same thing like the WWE network where you have access to all the backlog footage from WWE, WCW, ECW, and all the other territories and stuff. But
they got everything.
Yeah. But
Wow.
once the new pay-per-view comes out, like a SummerSlam or WrestleMania, you get to watch that for free. Any pay-per-view that comes on, you get to watch that for free.
As long as you buy it, yeah.
As long as you have the $9.99 a month,
yeah, we do
subscription.
that. My friend got it, and when we do ours, because we only do WrestleMania, we all come together and just watch and laugh at the stupidity. But he has stocks in WWE, and he pays for the service, like for that month for $9, and we can watch whatever we want to watch, no matter pay per view what it is for that $9. So yeah. Um,
It can get ridiculous though, because I know DC has their DC universe. Is it DC Universe Online or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Disney's coming out with one. So
yeah,
Mhm.
everybody's trying to,
CBS has one.
capitalize on it.
yes, yeah. CBS has one. It's kind of ridiculous. You got to pick and choose your poison.
Right. But you know what, man? What I'm noticing, without straying too far from what we're talking about, I'm not watching as much of these. Like, I don't watch HBO as much. I watch Game of Thrones, but I don't watch HBO anymore. I don't watch Showtime. I don't watch Cinemax. I don't watch Stars. I don't even watch cable much outside of sports. So I get all my information right off YouTube. Just go straight to YouTube and click on whatever you want to see, and
And
it's
now
all
you
loaded.
and
Now
now
you
you
have UT. Go ahead. I know you finna say it.
you have YouTube TV shows like Cobra Kai, which is
Yeah,
a TV show based off of the Karate Kid series.
right. And I watched. I think you can watch. Is that on Netflix too?
I
Or
don't
what?
think so.
I
But
think
I
it's
so
YouTube.
okay. But I watched, and Netflix is what we got. But let's get into these caps. Like, are this the different, I guess, recommended internet speeds? How y'all feeling about this? Cause for some folks who don't have unlimited internet, this is going to really
It's not for them.
it's not for
It,
them.
it's not
And
for them.
hey,
They
boy,
shouldn't even.
you kind of hit
They shouldn't
that
even think
already
about it.
though.
Yeah, they shouldn't even think about Stadia. They should just stop.
And if you already have data caps anyway, you're already dealing with that problem anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
you're stuck. You don't lose internet capability, but it slows way down once you hit your data cap, and then you can't really do multiplayer online effectively because you're lagging everybody with a high ping. So you know if this is if you're a true hardcore online gamer, this is not even an issue. You're not going to be going on. You're not going to have an internet service that has data caps.
Yep.
You're not
I
going to
Yep.
thought
be.
you was finna say, man, when you said, I thought you was finna say, "Excuse me, princess." I was like, what's he saying that?
Yeah.
It sounded like when you.
Excuse me,
That's what it
princess.
sounded like you was finna say. But go ahead, K-Bone, you was finna say something.
No. I was just agreeing to the point that because I mean I have I was contemplating getting a gigabyte service because I saw how much I game online. Because I'm like, man, this is 35 megabytes per second is nothing to me. I mean, if you're a hard real gamer online, then you're going to get what you need from that. And so yeah, so I agree with you. This is not really that big of an issue.
Now you got caps, K-Bone. I thought you was
No.
unlimited.
No, I don't have caps. I'm just saying my speed. I was going for a gigabyte download speed. They offer that now in
Oh,
my city,
you lucky little dude.
but it's like $120, man. I'm not that hardcore.
Yeah, you are. You gonna have it in about another 2 months. Go ahead
No,
and
man,
be
I
honest.
turned it down. No, I had the opportunity to get it, and I turned it down.
Yeah, for right now. For
I mean,
right
the
now.
wife
Anyway,
was right there, so I couldn't.
dude, this dude literally talks to every room in his house, man. Turn the lights off. Turn them. I'm like, dude, can we get to the movies? Can we just go to the movie? Anyway, no, I mean, I don't see nothing to complain about. I like I said, I don't know what the issue is. It seems like there is just folks wanting to cry, So I don't really see the issue. After
Uh,
y'all explain it, I don't see no issue.
but you do have to know that these speeds are not telling the full story. Um, this speed is the speed when you have a steady connection, but connection is not always steady,
So
and so
like
you will.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, your connection. Yeah, you may have 400. I mean 40 or 50, and then you may ping or drop, and then saying your video feed goes to 720p because you dropped, and then like it doesn't take into
Mhm.
account the cleanness of your line, your
And
bandwidth.
how many people is on it?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm talking about. How with the congestion of your
Right,
bandwidth, it doesn't take that
right.
into consideration. This is assuming a clean 35 or 10 or 25 megabytes per second.
So
And
oh, go ahead, D2.
and that could be the Achilles heel of the whole thing, not being able to use Ethernet to keep that smooth internet speed going by Wi-Fi. You have more opportunity for interference.
Mm-hmm.
So that could
and that's
be
with
a
your controller
bugaboo.
too.
Yeah.
The controller is Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I know some TVs have Ethernet ports in the back of it, but I'm not sure. I guess they did say that they could smart TVs could do it, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess they pretty much figured that out. I don't think it's
smart TVs are using the Chrome device, is what they're saying.
Chrome, like a dongle or something.
Yeah, the Chrome. Yeah, the Chrome.
Yeah, the Chrome.
Chromecast.
It's the Chrome something. It's the one with the 4K.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ultra.
D2. I mean, Keith, you got anything to add to this, or you pretty much said your piece?
I said my piece, but like I like what K-Mon just said about the steady stream, but all that means is what? We got to improve our network. Mm-hmm. That's all I see. Is like, okay, here's a problem, let's fix it. Just talking about not the industry, but the cable companies and stuff like that, if they want to.
But that's the problem. You're asking the cable companies to
treat us like,
yeah,
right.
And they're about that dollar if because they're not getting the money. It's that money going to the Google. So like they don't like to play with streaming services because it's not really making their pockets, and so they're rather for you to not stream your games and pay for their TV service.
So how do you feel like net neutrality going to play a factor in all this, not having that anymore? Because we don't have net neutrality. Is that how you say it? Yeah, that's right.
No, I thought they voted that down because that gave them the power to charge what they want, and that was
I thought
they shot that down.
It got shot down. I thought it was passed to where they could charge what they want.
It never became actual law.
Oh, so it got defeated.
Yeah, from my understanding, yeah.
Okay, well then
correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the understanding I have.
I haven't heard that.
I'm not sure.
I hadn't heard any conclusion.
I know it's not a law, because if it was, then every cable company will be able to pick and choose to charge you differently for streaming games, for streaming movies.
Yeah, I know it hasn't been, because it's still, from my understanding, it's still been heavily pushed against, but they did repeal net neutrality. They just haven't instituted anything yet because of the pushback and the fact that the dude that was taking it down lied on a whole bunch of the stuff that he got to get it to that place of repealing net neutrality in the first place. So you might be right. They might have pivoted on all that, but I'm not for sure. I haven't heard anything since. The last thing I remember was he was in a lot of different being sued by a lot of different states and a lot of different situations where he was having to go to court to explain why he forged a lot of his documentation, and saying folks was okay with it when they didn't say they were. And so that's the last thing I remember. I can't even remember that dude's name, but so net neutrality probably ain't an issue for right now. But like I said, I don't have no issue. Stadia might not be for me. I don't know yet. I don't have no caps or limits, so it might work for me, but I don't see nothing to complain about. I don't really see that with it.
Yeah, I think it was, like I said, people just afraid because someone's moving into their territory, taking them out of their comfort zone, knocking down their fanboy sandbox, and but people saying that, oh, the games look stupid, and they didn't really show enough of them. How could you say the games were bad and they didn't really show anything? In that little 3-minute trailer that they showed like 1 billion different companies behind them that are working on games. So give them a chance to have an actual show.
I was going to say the games was terrible when it's the same games on every other system. It was Doom.
Exactly.
It was Odyssey, so I guess it was trash when it was on the Xbox and the PlayStation as well. So, yeah. I mean, that part, I don't know. Now, let me ask this, and we get out of here, or we might need to table this for another discussion. How does Microsoft's answer or response to this, and Sony kind of already, planning to utilize Microsoft's streaming or cloud-based service, how do you feel like that's going to affect things? Or do you feel like Microsoft has something better to offer, or do you think Stadia still has the trump when it comes to cloud-based gaming?
I don't know.
Yet to be concluded.
Yeah, I kind of got their E3 conference left even more questions than answers.
Okay.
That's what I can say about that. The only thing that sounds interesting is the idea of taking your Xbox and making it into your own private server. That was the only thing that stood out to me that it seems kind of cool. But outside of that, I'm like, you didn't tell me enough. I gotta hear more.
Okay. Anybody else before we get out of here?
I don't know. I kind of don't even understand what is it, Project X Cloud?
Yeah.
I kind of don't even understand it really, because I don't think they talked about it much. Did they? Have they?
They didn't give, like D2K said, they didn't go into specifics. They just kind of, basically saying we launching it. That is here and it's about to launch. But no, I don't know all the inner workings of it. No, I don't know. That's why I'm asking y'all. Like, K-Bum, you know anything about it or what?
Know anything about what again? I'm sorry.
Xbox cloud service. X Cloud.
You were saying that which one do you think is
which one right now is still, who has the trump? Is it Microsoft or is it
well the
Google?
Trump right now is Stadia because they've shown more. Microsoft has only gave you bubblegum and cotton candy right now. They're just giving you wishes and dreams. You haven't really seen anything or heard enough or actually got seen anything physical with Xbox. Only lasting memory you have of Xbox that they've shown you is 4 years of development for Crackdown. That's the only thing you have as far as cloud computing when it comes to Xbox is what they told you Crackdown was going to be. So I really do think Stadia had what, as of right now. And man, if I had to choose and say which one I think was better, I'd definitely go there because they've shown me a lot more, and they've actually had test runs of this said service when they were doing the Assassin's Creed game. So
Right.
I do think the leg up right now is Stadia just off the sheer fact that you've seen a physical product and you really haven't seen that from the Xbox side. So that's what I would say.
Okay. I think that was well articulated. I agree. I didn't think about it that way. We haven't actually seen xCloud actually being done. We have heard about it. So you're right. You're right. Anything else before we get out of here? Or do we want to end here on this note? All right, that seems like we done. So,
well, I ain't want to say nothing. I just got here, so I ain't want to be the one to say nothing. So
let me get this though. Since you're here, what was your thoughts on Ubisoft's press conference?
I don't know, man. They be lying.
You said the same thing we did. Go ahead.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I said I didn't believe them.
I don't know. They be lying about all kind of stuff, man. They notorious for lying. People want to call Sony out, but Sony does lie. But Ubisoft be out here telling fibs too. So I don't take everything they say serious. So the Watchdog looks cool, but I don't know the premise. I'm not fully buying it. That God monsters look pretty cool. And yeah, I know. I want to like Ubisoft. It's just they just do enough dumb stuff for me not to like them. I don't know.
Okay.
It's like the corny guy. Like you want to laugh at the guy. Like, man, you just corny. Like I want to laugh at you, but you corny for real.
It's too corny to laugh at. If you would pull it back a little bit, you could have gave it maybe a chuckle. What about Bethesda?
Who?
Okay, let's move on then.
I couldn't tell you the last Bethesda game I played. I did not watch their E3. Sorry.
Square Enix.
Interested in the Marvel event, the Avengers game. I stated in the chat with us, but
Yeah, go ahead. Go
what
ahead.
what what really makes me excited about the Avengers game, because I was completely turned off with the faces. I'm like, oh God, that's not Tony Stark. Oh, what is wrong with Black Widow? Who are these people? These are strangers. Um, what what
Cosplay, impersonating.
cosplay? It wasn't even good enough to be
What?
cosplay.
Why do you think? Okay, do you? Because I think you said Joe reason you feel like they didn't go with like trying to replicate the actual
Man, you can't
actors was budget,
you can't replicate that, man. Like you can't replicate the feeling of those
not the
act.
feeling, but they
Like you
face.
can't
They
have their faces and then have different voices. You just can't. You can't.
okay. I got
You can't. It feels just as foreign as having these different people. So you might as well just say you're doing your artistic spin on the Avengers. That's the best way you can do it.
you. Okay.
I think the graphics just wasn't as appealing to me. I think just as a whole. But what made me excited about this game is the big guns they brought in for voice acting. Nolan North, who voiced Drake and is one of the best voice actors in all of video games. Um,
Nathan Drake.
what did I say?
You
You
said
said
Drake.
Drake.
Yeah, Nathan Drake. Yeah. Nolan North is the voice of Nathan Drake.
Okay.
Um,
All right. I didn't know that.
not the rapper Drake. So
I was
and
just making sure. I didn't know what you. I didn't know.
yeah, Nathan Drake. Yeah,
Okay.
Uncharted. And then the other guy, what is his name? Barkley, Troy, Troy Barker. Sorry, Troy Barker, who has played many of voices. Some voices you don't even know, but he was most his first really thing he blew up was um uh, uh um the new game. Oh crap! It was the first son. First son. It was the first Sony game. It was out of the same thing we do. Shot lightning out of the hand. I cannot remember that series. Infamous.
Shot
There we
like
go.
Infamous.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
He did Infamous, and also he did.
Trashmas.
He,
Trashmas. No.
okay, all right, and he did the voice for The Last of Us. He was the main guy in Last of Us. So he's done some great roles. He is one of the probably the best up and coming voice actor. Probably taking the mantle from Nolan North. So I'm excited about those voices. I'm excited about those people, and they can make any story appealing just off of their skills alone. So that alone makes me excited and think that even if it's a bad story, their voice acting can make it appealing. So that what made me kind of excited about the game is seeing that.
Okay. Who else? Nintendo.
Um,
All right, let's
I
move
mean,
on.
I didn't outside of Marvel, I don't see anything that I'm going to go out and get
Okay.
outside of
That's
Marvel. I
fair.
mean, the Astral Chain. That's the game. I think it's called. Is it Chain or something like that? Um,
Yeah. D2 say I said wrong, so I'm hesitant to say it. So I don't know.
that's cool.
He says I
That
said wrong.
that game looks pretty cool. That game looks pretty cool. I think I'm past the Pokemon stage, so I won't be playing that.
I never was
Uh,
on the Pokemon stage, so for you to
yeah,
be past it is amazing.
I'm past it. So I used to play it back in the day. So,
Yeah, that
but
and Yu-Gi-Oh.
all right,
Okay.
all right. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's okay.
Oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, outside of those two, uh, I will be playing the Marvel Alliance game, even though it's not really that visually appealing. I'll
You're
still
not getting
probably
that Witcher 3?
yeah. So I'm gonna try to play the Marvel Alliance game, uh, even though it's not that not the
Now,
most appealing
okay. Now, okay,
appealing game.
what about Breath of the Wild 2? You what that didn't get you?
Some of the gameplay acts I love when I first saw Zelda, I was blown away. I thought it was cool. I like the aspects. When I actually played it, it just had gameplay elements in it that just was tedious to me. Like the whole
Okay.
food system was tedious to me. The weapon keeping up the weapons break every 5 seconds was just tedious to me. The shrines was just tedious work. I didn't
Yeah, I get into the
I,
shrines.
I, I
Shrines
didn't
got old
I didn't
quick.
enjoy doing those things.
I got tired of doing the shrines maybe after the 40th or 50th one. It's like how many shrines in like 100 and something?
It's 100 or
Bro,
something. I know that.
Did you do all of them, Keith?
nah, I thought it was like, is it? Well, I thought it was 200 or something.
It could be, and DLC it could
I
be.
thought
Yeah,
it was 100 and something. I don't know if it 200 would have been just ridiculous. So don't you?
yeah.
I thought it was like 100 and something.
Yeah,
I think I got to 60.
It
I
got tedious,
agree.
man.
I agree with K-Bun. A lot of that stuff is tedious, and that's what I was saying earlier. It's like, man, at least on this one, like, make the story like the focal point. If not, you just playing the same game. And
True.
I know Nintendo won't do that. But
my thing is, I hope
I got tired of reading too. So
look, I hope that they do address because it's many of the things that K-Bum talking about was kind of tedious. I hope that they kind of make the weapon system, the weapons breaking a little bit more realistic, to where if I'm hitting something that I shouldn't be hitting with the weapon, then that breaks. Or if I'm hitting a enemy that's wearing armor, then it breaks. But the Master Sword shouldn't need to charge. I just didn't get that. And I didn't have a big problem with the eating because there was ways around not having to do that. If you got the right suits and stuff, you didn't have to cook up a chili based cuisine to run through the winter, through the cold areas. But you had to play that far to get to where the food didn't matter no more. And I don't know how far you played through it, K-Bum, to get to not have to cook food all the time.
like
So
I just like the Witcher. Like the Witcher, if the Witcher health was tied to the food, and I didn't have to cook anything, I just pressed the button and my person would eat. I didn't have to press start, go to the menu, cook, find a recipe, cook my
welcome to
food,
Nintendo, man.
set my
That's
food
Nintendo.
aside
That's
for when it's
Nintendo
time to
for you,
do.
bro.
Like with the
well,
Witcher, it was just I gathered a bunch of food, and different food had different time or how much it healed, and then I used it. I pressed the
I don't
up
know.
button, the down button.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. My girl healed itself. I ain't even eat food. That's all.
Okay, let's show off.
So you ain't getting that Witcher 3 though for the Switch. You ain't doing that, K-Bum. You ain't gonna get that on the go Witcher 3 going on.
So are we gonna sign out or what? What we doing here? I don't know why you playing, man. I don't know why you playing. You already know my feelings.
I thought you said the Witcher 3 would really get you going for the Switch, man. Like, whoa, this is amazing.
Now you know I try to be positive or neutral with Nintendo, but you need to stop that.
You know,
ain't no way in the world I got a 4K TV and I'm about to play 720p. You better get out of here with that craziness.
You're talking about undocked. I thought you played. You don't play docked. You undock it, right? You play that five something p
540.
Anyway, man, let's get out of here,
please,
man.
I make people mad. Just
all right. They ain't finna make nobody mad. They understand. We just truth tellers over here. With that being said, man, we hope y'all enjoyed the cast. It was a minute since we jumped on. There was our recap of E3 and Stadia. Next week we'll be dealing with some, I guess, more current stuff. Anything else you guys want to say before you go, or just want to sign out? Well, we're gonna sign out then. Go ahead, K-Bump.
Yeah, no, it was cool. Like I said, I'm sorry for jumping in late. Had a prior engagement. Had to make it down to a sporting event, and so that was legit. I actually got a chance to talk to you guys on the highway, so I didn't crash.
Who won?
Home. It was going into extra innings. I couldn't stay any longer. I was done. I was done. I couldn't do it.
Okay. I don't know how you be doing. I did that. We went to that Cardinals game, man, and we got in some seats that was right directly in the sun, and it happened to be on one of the hottest days of last year. I don't think we got maybe halfway through the game. It was like, well, let's go,
man. Because I'm a true Cardinals fan. You're a faker. That's all it is.
No, I ain't a Cardinals fan at all. You know, I ain't even a faker. I just went because the tickets was free and somebody invited me.
True that.
So, and we had some great. We was right behind left field. I mean, right like maybe 3 seats up from the field. So we was in a good
Those-
spot. It
those
was
good
just too
seats.
freaking hot. Huh? What'd you
No,
say?
I'm saying those are good seats.
Yeah, it was some good seats. He got season ticket seats. But anyway, go ahead and finish what you saying though. You was checking out.
No, I was saying I was late to join in, but I was happy to slide through. Just want to give some a shout out. My boy Jedi Knight did say he wanted to say what's up to everybody. He hasn't been through, but he still think about everybody. Still wishes the cast good luck, and he said he definitely wants to drop through, but he just want to say what's up to everybody and everybody out there in YouTube land who's listening. Jedi just wanted to say what's up to everybody.
Yeah, I kind of let him know that earlier. So I'm glad you brought that back.
Well, I said it now, so it's not
No,
me.
I just making sure you knew. I didn't forget. I didn't forget. I made sure to let everybody know.
Yeah. Whatever.
Mr. Oh, well, D2K don't do this. Keith.
Yeah, man. Great coming back. My eyes were not dozing. I'm glad my internet came back. Actually, my internet, according to Comcast, is not even supposed to be back on yet. But I'm glad it came back on earlier. One, because I was hurting without watching videos. Stadia. Uh, Another thing, just one last thing. I guess I did have some. Have y'all ever like when it's thundering and like you hear that one lightning like you have a squint like, oh, here it come, and it's like the loudest one, like the loudest bang.
If I'm outside, I'm squinting the whole time. I hate thunderstorms, man. We had one bad one yesterday. This way, my mom had, yesterday my mom had my daughters, and she wanted me to come and get them because she thought it was gonna, because she knew about the storm was coming. So I wouldn't have to come and get them later. She said, "Come and get them," and man, that lightning was so bright and flashing so hard, man. I was ducking the whole time going to the car. So, I duck outside. I don't know about inside the house, but I definitely duck when I'm out there.
I was squinting so hard, I wasn't even outside. I was like, oh, here it comes. Anyways, man, it was great catching up.
My bad. Oh, my bad. All right. Anyway, this was the Live and Level Games podcast. We glad all y'all tuned in. Cornelius, Trigger Man, who else is a Dark Sun Rider? Red Knight was up in here. Active Gamer Life, Mr. Nor. Oh, you in the podcast too. Anyway, so glad y'all all tuned in. I'm gonna sign out for me and D2K. Tune in next week. Hopefully, we get back on here on a Sunday. We can get Mr. Knight in with us and get his take on gaming since we haven't heard from him in a good minute. But till then, deuces.